Hi, my name is Akil Hameed. I'm the broker owner at Fast Real Estate Services. And today we're going to be talking about everything small business. I'm going to be giving you some tips. We have about 3 tips that we're going to touch on today for our small businesses. So location strategy is one. Negotiating your leases is another, and then the anchoring your energy for your business. So let's jump into it. So location is super important as a small business owner. Can customers see you? You know, when you're driving down the street, is your signage good? What's the visibility that you have? Can they find you? You know, if people go on Google and they're searching and they're looking, where are you located? Is there a pin that drops that says, hey, this is where my business is located? As far as a brick and mortar, you definitely want to make sure that you're not invisible, that people can find you. You go onto your website, go onto your social handles, and make sure that you're present and you're not blind, right? Next, let's jump into lease negotiation. So this is a space where a lot of business owners, they find themselves falling into a pit, mainly because they don't understand how to negotiate a lease, and then they try to do it themselves. So first thing you want to do is hire a broker, right? That's what we do. That's what I do. I'm here. I typically will sit down with my clients and we're going to really represent them at the table on behalf of their business with that other landlord, right? So we're going to come in, we're going to ask for something called TI. Most people don't even know what TI is. It stands for tenant improvement. You may also see it called TIA, tenant improvement allowance. That basically means that we're going to ask the landlord to provide you as the tenant with dollars that you can invest, and then that will be tied into your lease payment. You're on a monthly basis. The next would be like a rent abatement. A lot of times as a business owner, you're coming in, you're trying to figure out like, look, I need to be in this space, but what if I can come in and not pay rent for 2, 3, 4, 6 months? On average, a brand new restaurant, they may get 4 to 6 months of free rent. Imagine the amount of income that you can put aside so that you can start having money available for you and your business on a monthly basis if you get that free rent. Next thing would be like renewal options. We are super, we push for renewal options because you're in the best position negotiating your lease when you first start, when you come in, right? So getting that renewal option when you first sign that initial term is important because guess what? It's going to help you to manage your cash flow over long periods of time. What if you start the business, it starts kicking off, is going very well, and then after that first 5-year lease, then all of a sudden, boom, it's time to renew and you don't have a renewal option. You set yourself up for failure because now that landlord is going to look at you like, listen, you're making a lot of money. You can pay more money. So get that renewal option at the top of the negotiations. And then the other thing I would say is just, make sure that you have leverage. Your lease is your leverage long term when you're in this game. So you want to stick to what's in the lease, but you want to get everything that you can when you start. The last one would be anchoring your energy. You're not just there occupying space, right? You want to make sure that you have signage, like this sign behind us. You want to make sure that outside of your business, inside, the brand is very prevalent, it's relevant, people can see it, they know who you are. Even if you can get a lit sign, depending on if you're in a high traffic area, that's going to help. You want to make sure that you invest in the experience. What is the experience when people call you on the phone and they engage you for the services that you have? So you want to ensure that that experience is top tier. And then finally, you want to build a community. You're not just here showing up every day, collecting money from customers and going home. But what kind of impact are you doing as a small business to build a community and to create a greater impact for those that are around you locally and afar? So these are just a couple quick tips for business owners. More to come. Tune in. Check out our handle on YouTube. Thank you.